Picture this. You're in the middle of a war zone. The dust is everywhere, and you've got boots that smell like they died months ago, and you desperately need a sugar fix. What's your option? A candy bar? Sure, if you like melted chocolate sludge in your pocket. That's where M&Ms march onto the battlefield. Yes, those tiny, colorful candies weren't just born out of some corporate brainstorm about sharing size bags or movie snacks. Nope. Their original purpose? To fuel soldiers. So, were M&Ms really made for soldiers? Let's find out right here on History of Food. Let's rewind to the late 1930s and early 1940s. Chocolate was already a morale booster. Soldiers loved it. But there was a huge problem. Chocolate melts. And when you're stationed in tropical climates, sweating through your uniform, the last thing you want is a bar of goo that's stuck to its wrapper. That's not exactly portable energy. Meanwhile, in Europe, there was already a rumor about sugar-coated chocolate candies being used during the Spanish Civil War. Some sources suggest Forrest Mars Sr., yes, the Mars family Mars, spotted people eating little chocolate pellets with a hard sugar shell. It kept the chocolate from melting in hot conditions. That simple idea sparked something. And just like that, Mars thought, what if I could mass-produce this? And thus, the earliest seeds of M&Ms were planted. Here's where it gets juicier than a caramel center. Forrest Mars Sr. didn't go solo. He teamed up with Bruce Murrie, son of Hershey's president. During World War II, Hershey basically controlled America's chocolate supply, so if you wanted cocoa, you needed their blessing. That's where the name M&M comes from. Just Mars and Murrie. Not magical and melty, or melt-proof and military, just two last names slapped together. By 1941, M&Ms were ready for action. And when I say action, I mean the literal front lines. They weren't marketed to kids, moviegoers, or late-night snackers. Nope, they were made specifically for American soldiers during World War II. The U.S. military even gave Mars a contract to supply the candies in bulk. M&Ms came in little cardboard tubes, easy to carry, easy to ration, and durable. Soldiers stuffed them in their pockets, knowing they wouldn't melt into chocolate soup. Imagine the relief. While you're dodging artillery fire, at least your chocolate is safe. It wasn't just sugar, it was a morale booster. Tiny pellets of comfort in a world gone completely mad. In many ways, M&Ms weren't just candy, they were edible therapy. So the war ends, soldiers come home, and they're hooked. They'd been living on these candy-coated chocolate bits for years. Instead of discontinuing them, Mars did the smart thing. He brought M&Ms to the civilian market in 1945. With that wartime nostalgia attached, people loved them immediately. It wasn't just candy anymore, it was a piece of American history you could snack on. Now let's talk about the world's most iconic candy slogan. In the 1950s, M&Ms launched the line, "Melts in your mouth, not in your hand." Was it entirely true? Not really. Hold one long enough and you'll end up with rainbow fingers. But the slogan sold the idea perfectly. Neat little bites of chocolate joy. Parents loved it, kids loved it, dentists, maybe not so much. Originally, M&Ms didn't come in the rainbow we know today. The first colors were red, yellow, green, brown, and violet. Yes, violet. Imagine buying a bag today and pulling out purple instead of blue. Mind-blowing. Blue didn't even exist until the 1990s, when fans voted in an official poll to replace the tan M&M. Yes, tan existed too. The 70s and 80s were apparently very beige decades for candy. And then there was the whole Red M&M controversy. For a decade, Red M&Ms disappeared because of public panic over red dye No. 2. The irony? M&Ms never even used that dye. But the fear was so strong, Mars pulled the red candies entirely in 1976. They didn't come back until 1987. That's how powerful candy politics can be. If you grew up watching TV in the 90s or 2000s, chances are you think of M&Ms as those walking, talking cartoon candies with personalities. Red is sarcastic, yellow is the goofy one, green is sultry, blue is chill, orange is anxious. Basically, it's like a sitcom in a candy bag. But that wasn't always the case. For decades, M&Ms didn't have characters. They didn't need them. The candy itself was enough. But once marketing evolved into storytelling, the Mascots made M&Ms a pop culture phenomenon. Suddenly, they weren't just chocolate, they were celebrities. They had Super Bowl ads, holiday specials, even a brief flirtation with controversy when green M&M got a makeover. Apparently, people felt very strongly about her boots. The internet is a weird place. From the battlefield to the supermarket, M&Ms kept spreading, now found in over 100 countries. They've even gone to space, where astronauts love the candy shell for keeping chocolate intact in zero gravity. Over the years, spin-offs have popped up: peanut, crispy, pretzel, caramel, brownie, and seasonal versions. Some stuck, some didn't. But the core concept, that shell that saved chocolate from melting, has never changed. In 1981, M&Ms became the official snack of the Space Shuttle program. Yes, they're astronaut approved. Then there are the M&Ms World Stores, basically chocolate theme parks where you pay too much for candy and still walk out smiling. And every single day, over 400 million M&Ms are produced, enough to supply an army of sweet tooths. So, were M&Ms really invented for soldiers? The short answer? Yes. They were literally created to keep chocolate intact for troops in World War II. Without the war, without Forrest Mars's obsession, and without Hershey's cooperation, there's a good chance M&Ms wouldn't even exist. The next time you rip open a bag of M&Ms, remember, you're tasting history. Born to keep soldiers' chocolate safe in wartime, they've gone from ration tubes to Super Bowl ads and giant stores in Times Square. That's the beauty of food history. Every snack has a story, and M&Ms may be sweet. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.